giving their duties or roles is because we are thanking them. That's all the purpose of it is just to say thank you. Our first speaker of the day, Meaghan Barker. Meaghan joined us last fall and then promptly had to leave us before she'd barely got her teeth wet. But she's back, and we are so happy that she's back. And today she's going to do her icebreaker speech entitled Living in Huntsville. Please help me welcome Meaghan Barker, Living in Huntsville.
Honorable Chairperson, Mr. Area Governor, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. My name is Meaghan Barker. I'm a student here at UFE. I'm training to become an elementary school teacher, and like I was told, I joined Toastmasters in the fall, but unfortunately due to a family emergency I had to move. And I moved to a town called Huntsville. Has anybody heard of Huntsville? Yeah? Some people know where it is. For those who don't know, I'll give some clues. I left at the end of December. I was traveling by bus because I was traveling solo. It was a 3-day trip. I watched the terrain turn from mountainous to flat, and I watched the weather change from typical BC winter weather to snow and ice. Huntsville is located 2 hours north of Toronto. So I left work, I took a semester off school, and some people might consider that a vacation. But I'm not sure that it qualifies as a vacation if every night you get at least 1 foot of snow outside your door. Those of you who lived in Ontario or the prairies or anywhere that is excessively close to one of the Earth's magnetic poles, you know that when you step outside, you know you need a good pair of boots, a good winter coat, a scarf, a hat, a hood over top, gloves, and you know that it's not enough. As soon as you step outside, your nostrils are going to freeze along with your trachea, and you're still going to worry about the condition of your cheeks once you stepped out there. The trick is to smile so that when your face freezes into place, you at least look like a friendly person. Oh, and we didn't have a car, so we walked everywhere. Having no car in Huntsville can stymie grocery shopping. So the trick to grocery shopping in Huntsville is to stock up a lot and also wait for a warmer day. So you get your little weather app on your phone and you check it every day. And when the predicted temperature goes up as high as negative 15 degrees Celsius, bring out your thermal underwear. It's time to go shopping. When you add wind chill and snowfall along with the temperature, that negative 15 degrees is just so much better than negative 18 degrees. And the buildings in Huntsville were kind of different too than what you find here in BC. Don't trust the Google Maps pictures. They take pictures in the summertime. You won't recognize any of the buildings without all the icicles and snowfall. I saw a lot of old barns and brick buildings, and if you are there in the summertime and you go through the river, you'll actually see some houses underwater because the water rose when the snow melted. What really drove me crazy though was the long driveways. I couldn't stand it. Maybe they just seemed an awful lot longer with all that snow, but trudging through 3 feet of snow and having to plow the driveway every day was a real pain. But I did get to meet some of Colin's family. I met his younger sister, Kristen, and she was born with a heart condition that made her have a pacemaker for most of her life. She may have had a weak heart, but she was a riot. There was little to nothing that could bring that girl down, and except maybe not having her scooter. When the snow melted and she still had to wait for her scooter to defrost before she could drive it, she was bummed. I also got to meet his mom's boyfriend, who is a fan of Harley Davidson, and he said to me, "Only bikers understand why dogs stick their heads out the window." And he took me for a ride, and I can tell you I have no idea why dogs stick their heads out the window. I also met Colin's Opa, his grandfather, and we were there for his passing while we were there. It was very sad, but the room where the wake was full of supporting people who loved him a lot. And we saw a slideshow full of pictures of this man smiling. He just had this great, wide, charismatic, and sincere smile. So I knew he was an excellent man, even though I didn't know him very long. It did warm up in Huntsville, and it's actually quite a lovely town once you get to see it. And it's mainly a tourist town, so there's a lot of unique shops that if you live there, you won't buy from because they only sell overpriced souvenirs. But the people are extremely friendly. Once April came around, we visited Ottawa, and we took a tour through the Parliament buildings. We walked over the bridge to Hull, Quebec, and we visited Niagara Falls. And one of the greatest assets of living in Huntsville or in the Muskoka area is the wildlife. We saw plenty of deer and bunnies and lots of moose. We almost hit one at nighttime, which was terrifying. Those things are huge. And this was the weirdest one. We saw a lot of wild turkeys living alone in the province that gets 5 feet of snow. All right. In the end, Huntsville was an irreplaceable experience. I like to regard my experiences in the cold as a learning experience and as proof that I can cross the country on my own and live in the unfathomable cold and survive it. I brought back with me some fantastic memories and Colin, and I would recommend to anybody who's planning on traveling out east to do it in the summertime.